Africans in other countries that are joining us on a daily basis to relay these programs. Let me say welcome to you, Mr. Minister Trokon Kpui.
Thank you. And again, it's a pleasure to be in your studio, and thanks for the invite.
Now you were out of the country recently, and I followed some of your interactions. You met with the Minister of Youth and Sports in Qatar. Tell us first the good news on Qatar. And you will bring the news for us. I don't want to be asking the piece of questions.
Before even going to what our trip was, I first of all want to say a big thank you to our representatives in Qatar. A special thank you go out to Ali Sila. He was very instrumental. He was helpful to my big brother Do.
Okay.
He's another person. He's the first secretary in Qatar. They were able to set up a lot of things, but before we even went to Qatar, remember during the opening ceremony of the Invincible Sports Park, we invited Aspire Academy to come to Liberia.
Okay.
And it was through the instrumentality of the president. We started a conversation with them while we were building the park. And so when we completed the park, we decided to invite them. And it was during that time that they came. They came with a high-profile delegation. They came with the CEO, and they had a fun time. And then while they were in town, the promise that after Ramadan, they were going to extend invitation for me to go there to see their facility and for us to talk further. Luckily for us, through Aspire, they were able to contact the Youth and Sports Minister, His Excellency Ali. So during my visit, he sent me an official invitation, and so I was able to also meet with him. And the president, as we all know, he's a name that is worldwide. He's known everywhere, and the Minister of Youth and Sports were excited because I took a special gift for him.
Okay.
I took the rare shoes, one of the rare shoes that won the Ballon d'Or, that was autographed to him specifically. So
The one for the president.
yeah.
Okay.
And then he also, in return, gave one of the FIFA World Cup ball as a token of appreciation
To our president.
to the president. And so it was fun, and we had other conversation that we had, but to listener in Radio Land, there were two different conversations that were had. First and foremost, the Aspire conversation was a continuation of what we started in Liberia, and then being introduced to the Youth and Sport Minister. The Youth and Sport Minister is also working on a MOU where the government of Liberia can actually form a collaboration, a win-win collaboration with UAE Sports, the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And I spoke with him, and we talked in detail where we agreed that when those paperwork are ready, he will work along with his counterpart from our country, and then we will do the signing. So on that level, it will be raised from the foreign affairs of both countries, and then both sports minister will actually do the signing when it comes to the bilateral agreement in sports between both countries. So and that's a great thing.
And during that, the signing of that bilateral agreement, you need to go to Qatar or you come to Liberia?
Paperwork are being worked on. It will be channeled through our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where that paperwork will be forwarded to our Ministry of Youth and Sports. However, we also had a continuation of conversation with Aspire with the case of Aspire, it was different because um, it was through the president flagship project, which is considered sports for development, and through that, Aspire is trying to develop grassroots football and give technical support to our Lone Star, and also give some human capacity training for our brothers and sisters in a very specific sports, which is football.
Okay.
But on a general level, for sports which will cover all sports, that will be done through the Ministry of Youth and Sports. So we are happy that we back, and there is a lot that we going to unlock today, and it's a pleasure that we go forward under a sports president. We all know His Excellency George Manawia, where he comes from. He comes from sports, and with this initiative that we have already started, we intend on doing a lot in sports. And this time, the chief patron of sports is the one championing what we are going to do. And so it's a pleasure being back home, and we are back to work.
Okay. As I said to you, Trokon Kpui is the Minister of State for Portfolio. He's our guest on the second segment of our program here. He was talking about his visit to Qatar. But while you were at Qatar, some technical support in terms of medical and as well was also promised.
Yeah,
talk about those technical support.
Yeah, we signed a specific MOU with Aspire, and I was blown away because I had the opportunity to tour their facility, and it's like one of the best facility I have visited in my life.
Wow!
And
in Qatar.
Yes, I've had the opportunity to visit other European facility football, but there is very inclusive because it contains everything. Wow. You name it. Sports medicine. We talk about hospitality. We talk about sports management, and we talk about the actual facility, and then we talk about how you actually groom a sports personnel and everything. So they have it's almost like a one-stop shop.
Wow.
So everything is there, and I'm happy today to announce to the public that through His Excellency, we will be able to give direct support to the Lone Star through technical training. They are very much keen on grassroots football strategy and development, and so they also are trying on helping coaches, because based on what we discussed, they said they already came, and they were lucky that they came to Liberia because they had the opportunity to see firsthand what we had. And during the trip, I took them to West Point, and it was an eye-opener for them. Tim Cahill, he had the opportunity to play pickup football with the kids in West Point, and he was excited. And based on that, when they went back, they have already tailored a program for Liberia. Wow. And so we only went...
Tailor a program for Liberia in their country?
Yeah, they tailor a program for Liberia based on research they have done, and based on things they discussed with the president while they were here. And so one of such things would be community grassroots football. And because under the president priority, which is the sports for development, we have a specific framework that we have put in place to implement his vision in sports. And those implementation framework, we took to them, and we did a full presentation of the investable park. We did the PHP, and then we did other initiatives that the president is involved in. And we also,
in terms of sport, improving sports.
Yeah, on the sports. And then we also were able to convey to them his long-term goal about extending the idea of the Invincible Park in the remaining 14 counties. And
Okay.
so these are things that we discussed during my
So do when you last came here, Mr. Kpui, you told the Liberian people about the replication of the visible sport park to other counties and something to be done in Monserrado. Was that part of the discussion? Did I hear you say that?
Yes, it's one of remember. Um, there are two different ways that we are trying to accomplish what we want to do. As my boss always say, His Excellency, he said it's impossible with one pitiful field, which we call Ballhead Field at the time. Liberia was able to produce
A George Weah.
the Ballon d'Or in Africa. He says, imagine what will happen if we have more facilities. The second thing that is very much cardinal to my boss is it's impossible that Liberia, as the first independent country in Africa, will be around and we have not had the opportunity to host an African Cup.
Yeah.
It's a dream of the president. And
To
so,
host an African Cup, yeah.
in Liberia. And so to be able to host an
That's a lot of investment, though.
and that's why we are on the road. We need infrastructure, and those infrastructure we have already started. Hats up to the Liberian government through the Ministry of Sports. I think you see SKD Sports
Yes,
Complex
yesterday
is
there
finished.
was a program there yesterday.
Yes, and
Was it an old tennis award ceremony, right?
I think so. And not just that, through the through the FIFA initiative, Mustafa Rajiv, a very close friend of mine, has been able to roll out some infrastructures. We see the Tusafi has been built. We see the Doris Williams Sports field has been improved. We see the SKT practice field. And then through our office, through the PDU, we were able to bring forth the Invincible Sports Park. So all these facilities plus the new ones that we are advocating for will give us that particular lobbying power to make sure the president dream become a reality. That one day we, as Africa's first independent country, will be able to host one of the big games, and that is the dream of the president. And we, as foot soldier of the president, we are making sure that become a reality.
Trokon Kpui is here as my guest. I'm getting information from my reporters in the field saying yesterday that NEC is saying that some unscrupulous individuals are trying to hack the website of the Elections Commission. The intent is unknown, but it comes after the by-election in Lofa County where the CDC supported candidate Councillor Joseph Jallah won. So NEC is saying that some people are trying to hack their account to give numbers contrary to what they have in their website. So if you have a problem with maybe accessing the NEC website, means that they are putting in place some mechanism to ensure that doesn't happen. But I think it's unthinkable that people would want to go and hack the website of the Elections Commission to apportion numbers to themselves that do not belong to them. We went to election in Lofa, it was free, fair, and it has passed. This man has been announced as the winner. I don't think it's a good thing that some people will want to go and hack the Elections Commission website, as we are getting from the commission yesterday. They released a press statement on that, and it's a very serious matter. Elections are finished, and we have to move on. Let me go back to Trokon. Welcome, Trokon. I just want to pass that over because this is our country, and we like for people to conduct themselves in a peaceful manner, because if the country runs into the crisis, it's not just us, you, but it'll be every one of us. But Trokon, you talk about, in our conversation earlier, you talk about development of grassroots sports and elite sports, upskilling and staff knowledge in that change. So what does that mean? Staff a change meaning you will have people from here going to Qatar and people from Qatar coming here
Sure.
to empower our people?
One of the things that the president actually instructed us to do was, remember, we come from a background where most of us serving in this government
Mhm.
have some background of sports in us. I had the opportunity to play up to D2. I played Division 2 in Liberia.
Ah.
And not just that, the president have always said that it was taxpayer money that took him to Brazil.
Mhm.
And because of what Samuel Doe did, today he's who he is. And so remember, when people go out with all the support that Lone Star has, if Lone Star end up not winning, more often than not, people are accusing the president, although he's not playing and he's giving all the moral and financial support he can give.
Mhm.
And so we thought it wise that this time around, the president has a lot of good friends. He knows everybody. Everybody knows him. So he using his channels to make sure he gave direct help to our national team. And so we were able through the ASPA element to preserve a space for Lone Star
Mhm.
to have a training section as part of the MOU that we signed.
Okay.
There will also be sending technical teams here to help beef up our coaches' technical skills.
Mhm.
And it's one of the things that I actually pushed when I was there. And there are some of our players that played professional soccer and came back.
Mhm.
The president was very much helpful in bringing in CAF and FIFA to give them Class A, Class B license. We want to double up on that. We want to bring more training to those people that already have the license. For people that don't have it, we're gonna have uh, coaches come in
Mhm.
to help train people. And one of the things we talk about, they will come and find the identity of football in Liberia. What is Liberia identity in football? What is the star, or what are the different stars that we Liberia? What are our strategy? And so we will be, they will be working directly with the sectors that are responsible
Mhm.
for those kind of implementation. So they will be working mostly with the Liberian Football Association, because the MOU that we signed, it was specifically geared toward improving football in Liberia. And so they will be meeting a whole lot with Mustafa Raji and other people, but they will be coming, and it will be through the president flagship project called Sports for Development. And as I told you, that particular project through the President Delivery Unit
Mhm.
has a specific framework. And those framework, the president decided that through the framework of that Sports for Development, he wants to develop youth.
Okay.
And the development of youth, I think the last time we talked about it, and when I was gone, the president actually went to a fundraising ceremony at the ministerial complex about funding the rehabilitation of our young people and be able to help, kids that have some challenges. And so through that particular framework, we are trying to look at the development of youth. And the development of youth, we look at it in different categories. And those, one of those things that we look at the characteristics of a young person.
Okay.
There's sports bring a lot of great things to young people, but we chose 4 characteristics that you can build on, even if you are not a sports person, and you can use it in other discipline.
Okay.
And we look at 1, sports bring discipline to a person. The second thing is the respect for opponent. The third thing, it brings teamwork. And then we look at resilience and hard work,
Okay.
because those are characteristics of any athlete that make them to succeed in any sports they play in. And so we have that under our framework. The second thing is improving sporting facilities. And the improvement of sporting facility is one of the things that is very paramount to accomplishing the president's long-term goal,
Okay.
giving Liberia that opportunity to be able to host an African Cup of Nations one day. And so we have already started and we are on the road to increase those sporting facilities that our youth can one day have time to play again.
Now, while we're talking about, while introducing you earlier, I talked about the issue of elite sports. Now, somebody listening to you want to know what is elite sports and what is grassroots sports that you want to invest in.
Okay, when we talk about elite sports, we look at people at the zenith of their career.
Mhm.
When we look at people from the national team, because the national team comprises of different kind of players. You have professional players, you have players that are still playing locally, but you have to be the best of the best to be called on the national team.
Mhm.
And so at that level, we want to give them additional technical help.
Okay.
We also want to improve the facilities they already have.
Mhm.
It was amazing when I went there. The facility to show, there were facilities that were just geared towards national team.
Mhm.
They had three different groups of national teams that they were catering to, and those three national teams had their own facility that was different. And so when we look at from an elite level, those are people playing at the very top of the game. When we look at grassroots level, we're talking about sports in the community, where we try, it's almost like planting seeds. So when you plant those seeds, you expect it to grow. And so you have to, first before you plant, you have to nourish the ground. You have to make sure fertilizer is applied to the ground and make sure all those things that will make that seed to grow, you have it before you can start doing that. And so on a grassroots level, that's what they're gonna be doing, identifying players, making sure they have the technical help through the coaching framework, and that they can actually be able to be high performance athletes.
Okay. So Trokon Kpui is here with me. We're talking about his visitation to Qatar. On the second segment of the show, which is about to come, we'll talk about some local developments. The other time I was away, and I saw him taking some journalists on a guided tour at the Invincible Park, and I'm told work is progressing rather at the park. Which one is in PHP? How do you call it in PHP?
The PHP project is called the PHP Sports and Recreation Facility.
Okay, so we'll look at that. But let me come to a specific issue. When you met the Minister of Youth and Sports in Qatar, you have deliberated on so many things he said to you, but when it comes to the empowerment of young people, that out of the sporting area, other sports, because it's not just about football, maybe Liberia would say youth and sports, it's about other, maybe TVET education whatsoever. Was anything discussed about education of the young people in Liberia aside from sports?
Okay, this is what happened. First of all, I will let you know the capacity in which I usually travel.
Okay.
Okay. As the Minister of State with our portfolio, I move when the President tells me to move.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go based on a specific marching order.
Okay.
Now, when I go and engage my counterparts that I actually meet,
Mm-hmm.
I introduce my country, give the selling point to my country, and then later turn those counterparts to the sectoral ministers,
Okay.
where further conversations are being held.
Okay.
And so we met the Youth and Sports Minister through a formal invitation. However, our real conversation was continuation of the Aspire visit to Liberia, which they promised that they were going to invite me to Qatar for us to continue what we have started in Liberia, because I invited them to come for the opening of the Invincible Sports Park.
Okay.
Now, after I went to Qatar, met with the Youth and Sports Minister, he was very excited because the President sent a special message to him. We also took autograph cleats to him as a token of appreciation for what they are doing for the World Cup and other things. And then he said that what we would do through our bilateral relationship, there will be an MOU that will be channeled through both countries' Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where those framework will be built
based on bilateral engagements.
Bilateral engagement, and then that MOU will be put in place where all these things that you are talking about now will be highlighted. But that conversation has not started because that MOU is still being worked on from their end. It will be sent to our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where the sectorial minister will then have his input, and it will go back to the Youth and Sports Minister in Qatar, where then signing gonna happen. But what we signed when we were in Qatar was the Aspire assistance to Liberia through His Excellency George Manawia's office and through his program, Sports for Development.
Sports for Development. So now we can make that show as Liberians that in the near future, our sports in Liberia will be developed towards a very large scale, because you know, I hear sometimes there's a political side about it, Mr. Kpui. You are coming from the office of the president. I mean, you go the marching order of the president, and some will say this president is a former Ballon d'Or winner. He got popular at the expense of sports. He comes as a president, but not much is been heard about sports. So what Trokon Kpui is explaining to you now, these are all efforts by the president to ensure that sports is improved in our country.
And I'm very happy that I'm on this team, and because this is one thing, when the president won the Ballon d'Or, when the president went to Brazil, the field that we call ATS did not even have the asphalt turf that we have, and he went to Europe. Today we have those facilities, and the players have to exert themselves. They have to be disciplined. They have to put their career first. It's not the facility that's going to play the game for you. The facility is there to improve your game, but you have to be disciplined. You have to commit yourself to the game, and you have to play. And so, as much as under the regime of Charles Taylor, you would say Lone Star went to African Cup. There was players that were playing, but then he took credit for something that they were doing. So we had a lot of professional players at the time working hard to take the flag, to be a strong flag bearer of the country. Our player now has to have pride in the country, and they have to exert themselves. We have to work, and what we can do from the government end is to give them that facility, give them the support, and that's what we are doing right now. We are making sure, just how the president had the opportunity to go to Brazil, we are making sure we give them opportunity to go to countries to actually get the kind of training they need. We will also make sure we build more facility for them to be able to use. We will also make sure they have the kind of cleats, they have the kind of material, and now it will be left to them to improve their game and to devote themselves to their game to be able to carry the country forward.
Now, Trokon, you play football or to second degree, second what?
Second division.
Second division.
Yeah.
There are some people who want to participate in the sporting game, but they are disadvantaged. Take for example, the academy comes and players are spotted from Monserrado. They are not spotted from the home counties. Maybe somebody from Foya in Lofa County, somebody from Plebo wants to play for the Lone Star, but for his team in Monserrado in the county meet, but that person doesn't have the means to be selected in his county. Is there anything that you think we can do? I'm just really saying this because it's not part of our discussion, but you are in the sporting area. What can we do to actually ensure that those kind of people can be part of the game? Because there are some talents that are buried, that are hidden right now. Until they are spotted, we cannot get the best.
Thank you very much. And I'm speaking to you from what I know. I'm not speaking as an expert of content meat, because even during my prime when I played second division or third division, I never had the opportunity to play county meet. It's
Okay.
one of the things I never did when I was playing. I played high school football. I played elementary football. I played second division. I played third division. I played fourth division, but I never played county meet.
Okay.
But they have a process that the county actually they have time that the county actually call for players to show themselves.
Okay.
And so if you are interested, I think it's during that time you have to go and show your talent. And so I cannot really speak on how players are selected for various counties. Usually we just go as supporter. But this year I think I will stay very close to my county to understand.
Ambassa.
Because usually I think what we usually do is bad. I'm saying that, and I'm held guilty for it. We wait when the county comes to Monrovia and we say, "Oh, we gonna win." I think we should follow the county before the team is even selected. Our support should start from that level and make sure we help the coaches support those coaches to be able to recruit the best talent before it even become a team that we can call Grand Bassa County. And then from there, we know we have the good players, so obviously we're going to win. But we usually sit until the team has already qualified and come to Monrovia, and we think some miracle can happen. I think this time around, I will do my best to work along with the county administrators, work with my senators, and see how the process is done, and for us to be able to support the county before the team is actually established. I think when the team is already put together, there is little you can do because the team is already being formed.
Okay, Trokon Kpui is still here. I will take a jingle later. That's a message from the Royal Ambassador Hotel later. But Trokon, let's just wrap small about the Invincible Park rather. I was away sometime last month, and I saw you at the park where you carried journalists on a guided tour and explaining to them what was happening at the park, because this information came from the public that water was now passing through the field and then it was getting flooded by the day. And I heard you explaining to the people what is the status of that Invincible Park now. Is it still being flooded, or was it flooded at the time based on the information gathered from the public on Facebook?
When it comes to the Invincible Park now, I allow the park management to speak about Invincible Park.
Okay. But you are the engineer. You are the engineer. I'm saying engineer. You are the brainchild of the project.
Yes, but that question was answered, and we have put it to bed. With all the rain that has been falling in Monrovia, the Invincible Park, we still maintain the Invincible Park. We are doing everything we can do through the management office to make sure Invincible Park look the same. But I would like to inform you that during the groundbreaking, during the unveiling of the pool, the president also told the public that he was going to build a skating area where kids can go and roller skate. I can tell you that we are actually more than 35% into that, and we are trying to
in the same environment.
Yeah. And when you driving past the Invincible Park, you will see a section that is covered with zinc right now, and so that's something I would like to talk about. Invincible Park is there; people already using it. The management can talk about how they will maintain the park. When it comes to engineering, everything that needs to be there is there, and the park can speak for itself.
Okay.
So the skating area, we told the president that it will be ready by 26.
Okay.
And so
July 26.
Yeah,
So our young brothers and sisters, our children who can be skating around and the car row, hanging on vehicles, can be a show. By July 26, they can go there.
They can have a place.
To be exercising. Right?
Again, you know, I'm one of those persons. I always gave my deadline in a way that I would not sleep, because I love to to push myself.
Mhm.
So some people would say maybe it's not possible, but then we know that based on the kind of people we have working, and again, I say thank you to uh, the men in arm, the armed forces engineering battalion, and hats up to the general Prince C. Johnson, uh, 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 General Zanka retired.
Mhm.
These are my brothers, and they have been very supportive in whatsoever the president have decided to do, because the armed forces, again, I say, is a force of good,
Mhm.
and they have been
And I still see them when I'm passing
they
there.
are proving it every day, and I'm very happy. And
And that is the engineering department,
the
right?
engineering department, along with the natural construction company,
Okay.
are the one doing that, and we are on course to be done before 26.
Wow. 26, so our children listen well and listen again. The minister has spoken. The other time he spoke, he said, this park will be dedicated at this point in time. It was done in time. Now let's go to the other park in the PHP area. What is the progress on the recreational park?
The PHP, we are above schedule, and
What is the schedule?
the schedule we are looking at the end of January of next year. Uh, as we speak, based on our time framework or the Gantt chart that we put together, we way above it. We are mobilizing now for the revetment walk, and so the last time other we had popular work facing a street that allow people to have some sneak peek into what we were doing at the PHP. We going at a very accelerated speed,
Okay.
and things are coming up good. Well, almost all the buildings, the administrative building, the food court, and everything, we almost finishing the canopy where the VIP canopy where the we gonna have the president having programs and stuff. The last time I was there before I traveled, we were almost 80% into finishing the canopy, and so
Okay.
work at PHP is accelerating at a very good speed. I like what is going on, and for that work, all the praises and thanks go to BMC Group,
Okay.
and we also
They are the contractors?
yes, BMC Group are the one doing it. Hassan, thank you very much for the great work you're doing. I also want to use this time to say thank you to the AEP Consulting Group. We represent, they are the one representing the Abu Dhabi Fund for Development as an eye on the project. And so from the government side, I'm representing the government side through the President Delivery Unit.
Okay.
And so that's how that stuff is put
So,
together.
Mr. Michael Bido, there in Maryland County, hearing us right now, and I think Minister Kpui has answered your question about the new stadium you were talking about. Let me recognize you, the guys who join us, and I'll open the line for at least 5 to 6 minutes and take at least 8 calls and come back and close the program this afternoon on the Bumper Show. My name is Jallah Grayfield. I'm the nation's Heavenly J. Remember Jallah Grayfield chapter 1 verse 1. Let's talk and talk and talk and never shall we fight. Augustine T. Musa. Hope everything goes well. Mike Gasso Phillips. Keep up the good work, junior brother. Sir Richard. Keep up the good work. I'm following the conversation from Bon County. Emmanuel T. and Topo. I'm watching you live from Plebo City, Maryland County, the New Jerusalem. Honorable George Watkins Jr. Good afternoon, the nation's Heavenly J, and a pleasant good evening to the peace-loving people of Grand Pastor County, the land of hospitality. I'm following the conversation from my office in District 13 Montreal County, Liberia. Lamin my favorite minister in PAPD. G. Delicate Wakiamun, Washington for La Vegas. Ambassador Saros Baromin Davis II. Watching you guys live from the revolutionary first time voters of Liberia CDC war room. Let me take this time to say thanks to Minister Kpui for the information. J, that's Monumbai Jobo. Good evening, Mr. Grayfield. I'm following from Ghana's supermarket. Great man You are welcome back home. Hope that your visit to UAE gained a great result for the country. Let me read a few of them, then I'll come and close up with the reading of the comments. Good afternoon, Jallah. I'm watching from Grand Julia County, Slacktown. That's Arthur Jones. Malia Gadi. Good evening, Mr. Grayfield and Abraham. I'm watching you from Police Academy. I think it was yesterday you that he missed it. I'm here alone today, Madi. And I hope the old man Emmanuel Gadi and Mira Gadi they are doing very well in the Upper Police Academy area. Joseph Jobo, how many pictures hosting the ANC entail? Do we have hotels in Liberia to accommodate foreign spectators, etc.? He asked. Tama Franklin. Okay, Eman Hammer. I'll read some of your comments. Let me just take a few calls. 080-514-096. 080-514-096. That's 0770-560-560. Let me take this first caller from this line. Hello, welcome you live. Let's hear you quickly.
Good morning. Good evening, Jallah.
You just want sleeping, my man?
Our monitor there, our
Let me go ahead and Wesley Johnson.
thank you for the recommendation. Jallah, I've been telling the Honorable Minister, thank you for the work done in the four corner, the loop and corner of the Republic of Nigeria. The problem, only to the city, the work will speak for us. But let me kind of appeal to the minister. The last time I paid a visitation to the spoker, telling me I know that there is no saving capacity for we that can carry our child or children there. When they are playing, I need to find a place for us, the parents, to sit and witness our children play. So this is my kind of appeal to him.
Thank you, Wilson. Thank you. I think that is understood. Let's hear the next caller. Welcome. 30 seconds.
Thank you, Jallah, and thank you to Minister Trokon Kpui. Jallah, let us say thank you again for the opportunity to speak to the Liberian people. Minister Kpui, there is a concern.
Will you please call your name, sir?
I'm Amadou Belete. I call from the old road.
Okay, Amadou Belede.
Yeah, so there is this concern about maintaining a facility in this country. Minister Kpui, are we sure that when these facilities are built, do we have the requisite and train people to maintain these facilities? That's my concern.
Thank you.
Kudos to you for everything.
Mr. Belede, thanks a lot. Let me take a call from the Lone Star line. That line the caller has dropped the line, but you can call back on 080-514-096. Let me take this call. I'll come back to the other line. Hello, welcome. I will take my jingle later. Hello, welcome. You are live. Hello? Oh, that guy is not. Okay, let me take the next caller. Hello, welcome. You live. Let's hear you quickly. No time.
Thank you, Jallah. Hello.
Yeah, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. This is Trokon Kpui, the Popo Defender.
The Propo Defender. Okay, let's hear you, Propo Defender.
Yes. Let me applaud you, and Jallah. Let me applaud Trokon Kpui. Jallah, we will support ministers who are always willing to go by the command of the president to make this city a better one. So when Trokon Kpui, Minister Trokon Kpui is no exception. All the time when we follow Minister Trokon Kpui, he's not in Liberia, in Osa, and he go on the Osa to lobby for the Liberian people on behalf of the president. So I want to say to him, keep on doing the best invisible part that we're doing. Liberia is true injuries. Those all want to criticize, but we are saying to them, go enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Hita Wula Jerry, the Propo Defender. And the line is getting too popular right now, Adney. I will not take many calls. Hello, welcome. I'm okay, welcome. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Samuel Gagaya calling from Kingsbury.
Okay, Kirisborough. How are you? Let's hear you quickly, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I want to say good afternoon to the minister. Thank you so much for the hard work. But one thing I want to get clarity because I just tuned in, I didn't get it clear. Because I can remember when the FIFA president came here and promised the president that going to be here in stadium. So why is it update on that? Thank you so much.
All right, Gala. Let me take a call from the Lusa line. Hello, welcome. This might be the last caller. Hello? Hello, you there? Oh, this line. I don't know what's happened to the Lusa line. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you on this line. Let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, Jallah Grayfield, how are you and how are the minister in studio?
You sound like Minister.
This is Joshua Rufus Stan, this grandson of
Oh, okay.
history.
I heard you like our man. We say. Welcome. Let's hear you.
My man, nothing sport. John Coleman with John Jora. So listeners.
Okay, that's it.
So as I said, I'm the nephew
Okay.
done by there. So I recommend it to the brother in studio. If the old man can be remembered, tell Obon, tell Manning, Lincoln, the wizard jeweler, baby, that the old man want to have a dream. And the invisible park they built in the old man town, Kent District, that town.
Okay.
And the old man will rest in peace.
All right. I hear that. I see the minister nodding his head. I think he thinks that in approval. Thank you. Let me try again.
I would like to share the minister number with me because the minister must
Call this number after the show. We can talk. Yeah?
thank you very much. I appreciate that, Jallah.
Okay, the next caller. Good afternoon. You sounding too low. I don't know what's happening to that line. Unbelievable, man, that line too low. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I can't get it at all. Yeah, you get it clear, but okay, go ahead. Let me just hear you quickly. 10 seconds. No, I can't continue with you, brother. No time. I can't continue with you on that one. Let me take this one. Okay.
Are you on a trip and thinking that there's no other place that gives you comfort like your home? Or are you planning your wedding, birthday party, family's reunion, your baby shower, or other memorable events? Now, hold your breath. Just look right ahead of you. Yeah, it's Royal Ambassador Hotel, a place where you can relax and feel exactly like you are home. Royal Ambassador Hotel is ideally located in Unification City, Lower Margilly County, just about 5 minutes drive away from the Ramos International Airport, the RIA. Isn't that amazing? It's a quiet side, beautiful landscape that you will always love to visit. Royal Ambassador Hotel wholeheartedly welcomes you with open arms, hospitality, and facilities that you just won't find anywhere else. We have 3 bars with Oriental restaurant, a guarantee of uninterrupted power supply, a reliable 24-hour super speed internet connectivity. Not forgetting our spa, jacuzzi, an exercise room, African stool, and Louis-size swimming pool just for your enjoyment, as well as another smaller pool just for your kids. Our internationally trained and certified lifeguards are always available to make sure that everyone is safe. Royal Ambassador Hotel also has a mini conference hall, a giant-sized conference hall with theater that takes up to 600 persons, several beautiful courtyards, and event centers to host your celebrations with very spacious car parks. Now, here's the deal. Come to Royal Ambassador Hotel today, and we will pamper you with love and give you something memorable that you will cherish and take home at the end of your stay. Call Royal Ambassador Hotel today on cell number 0777 723 777. For more information, log on to www.royalambassadorhotel.com or royalambassadorhotel@gmail.com. Royal Ambassador Hotel, moving you from good to great.
Good to great. So let's come back to Honorable Trokon Kpui. Many of the calls were just commendation. You want to close up in 2-3 minutes as you go.
Yeah, sure. But I'll purposely try to, although most of them was pretty much appreciating what we are doing, but I want to talk about what my brother Amadou Belete from Oro spoke about. We always try to talk about maintenance, and facility. The maintenance of a facility will depend on the people using that facility. So as much as we always jitter about the maintenance aspect of anything in Liberia, we have to be responsible enough to use the facilities that are given us, knowing that we want it to last for a longer time. And I think what the management team is doing at the Invisible Park, you can see that since we opened the park still look the same, and the maintenance aspect of it is going very